Okay, no? So welcome to our channel. No? So our topic for today is yung continuation natin ng accounting for corporation, which is dividends. Okay? So dividends, this is the distribution of earnings or capital to the shareholders. So kung mapapansin mo, pwedeng galing siya sa profit, pwede rin siyang galing sa capital. Okay? Kung saan kapag galing siya sa capital, galing siya dapat dun sa tinatawag nating retained earnings na unappropriated. Okay? Kasi kung maalala mo, according to the trust fund doctrine, private corporations are prohibited from distributing their legal capital to protect their creditors. The corporation can only distribute dividends out of its unrestricted retained earnings. Kaya, yung dividends is galing siya dun sa unappropriated retained earnings. Ngayon, yung dividends mo can be cash, non-cash, or properties, o kaya naman shares, na kung saan there is a distribution of economic resources. Okay? Kaya nga, ito'y distribution ng earnings or capital sa mga shareholders. Ngayon, ang sabi ng Corporation Code is it is illegal to declare dividends kapag merong deficit. Ibig sabihin, yung retained earnings mo is retained deficit. Naka-debit balance siya. Bakit illegal? Kasi nagdi-distribute ka ng earnings na nalulugi yung kumpanya mo. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, bakit ka magdi-distribute ng dividends or ng earnings sa mga shareholders kung in the first place, lugi yung kumpanya mo? Okay? Kaya it is illegal to declare dividends if there is a deficit. So, pag sinabi nating deficit, ito yung negative balance or debit balance of retained earnings. And, syempre, ang maximum amount na pwede mong i-declare as dividend is based dun sa amount ng retained earnings unappropriated. Okay? So ngayon, ano yung tatlong important dates pagdating sa dividends? Meron tayong tinatawag na date of declaration, date of record, and date of payment. Pag sinabi natin date of declaration, ito na yung nagde-declare si Board of Directors na merong dividends. Okay? Ito na rin yung time na magkakaroon ka ng recording mo sa book. Okay? Sa accounting book mo, magkakaroon ka na ng recording na kung saan magre-recognize ka na ng dividends payable. Okay? At syempre, since ang dividends is galing sa retained earnings, mababawasan yung retained earnings mo. Kaya, sa date of declaration, palaging nandito yung journal entries. Okay? Na kung saan debit retained earnings, credit dividends payable. Okay? Pagdating naman sa date of record, no, walang accounting problem, no. Yun nga lang, ito na yung cut-off date mo na kung saan sino ba yung mga makakatanggap ng dividends. Okay? Pagdating sa date of record, no, ang tandaan mo dito yung tinatawag na ex-dividend. Okay? Pag sinabi nating ex-dividend, ito yung 1 day bago yung date of record. So, ahead ito ng 1 day bago yung date of record. Na kung saan, kung sino ang nasa ex-dividend, kung sino pa may hawak ng ex-dividend, siya pa rin ang may entitlement dun sa dividend. Okay? So, for example, ang date of record mo is January 8. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang ex-dividend niyan is yung January 7. Okay? From the date of record, okay? From the date of record, dyan na kina-cut off kung sino yung makakatanggap ng dividends. Pero, itong ex-dividend na ito na yung cut off kung sino yung may ownership dun sa declared dividend. Okay? So, for example, owner ka pa nung dividends as of January 7. Pero, binenta mo na siya kinabukasan. Okay? Binenta mo siya kinabukasan ng January entitled ka pa ba sa dividend? The answer is yes, kasi yung January 7 is ex-dividends pa. Ibig sabihin, ikaw pa yung may ownership ng dividends. Okay? Pero what if binenta mo siya earlier than January 7? For example, January 6. Binenta mo na yung mismong ownership mo ng January 6. Therefore, nata-transfer pati yung dividends na declared dun sa binenta mong ownership. Kasi nga, ang cut-off is yung January 7 na ex-dividend. Okay? Next is yung tinatawag na date of payment. So, ito na yung payment of dividends na kung saan yung ni-recognize mong dividends payable is babayaran mo na siya kung ano yung dineclare mo. Okay? So, meron ka na ditong debit na dividends payable, credit, cash, kung cash dividends yan. Okay? Or mga non-cash, no? Kung non-cash. Okay? So, ano ba ang mga classes ng dividends? So, merong 4 na klase ng dividends during the operation. Okay? During the operation of the corporation. At may isang klase ng dividends kapag ka meron ng liquidation or yung pag-cease to exist ng corporation. Okay? So, yung 4 na klase ng dividends as to operation, during the operation, is yung tinatawag na cash dividends. Cash dividends kapag ka ang dineclare mo is yung cash. Okay? Property dividends, ibig sabihin, ang pinababayad mo is property, mga non-cash asset. Okay? Next is yung tinatawag na share dividends. Ibig sabihin, ito naman yung dividends na binabayaran mo gamit ang entity's shares of stocks. Okay? It can be small dividends, small div, or large dividends. Okay? Pag small dividends yan, ito yung less than 20%. Okay? So, mas mababa sa 20%. Okay? Kapag ka naman large dividends, ito yung more than 20%. Okay? Yung dineclare mo is mas mataas dun sa 20%. Okay? Ngayon, ang measurement kapag small dividends is excess of fair value over par. Okay? So, yung amount to be credited is yung excess over par. Okay? So, ito kasi, yung fair value of shares. Ang measurement mo dito is fair value of shares na kung saan yung excess is credited to share premium. Okay? Kapag ka naman large dividend yan, par value lang ito. Okay? Na kung saan, syempre, kung par value yan, walang share premium. Okay? And next, during the operation of dividends, tinatawag na scrip dividends, ito yung issuing debt instrument. It can be a long-term liability or notes. Okay? At the date of payment. Na kung saan, hindi mo pa mabayaran. So, unutang mo muna. Kaya nagka-recognize ka ng tinatawag na scrip dividend. Nag-issue ka muna ng debt instruments. Okay? And lastly, yung tinatawag na liquidating dividends na kung saan in the event of liquidation, ito yung return of capital. Okay? Binabalik mo na yung capital dun sa mga shareholders. Ngayon, yung dividends, ang may entitled lang yan, ang entitled lang dyan is yung merong outstanding shares. Okay? Ang entitled sa dividends is yung mga outstanding shares. Okay? O yung may hawak niyan is yung mga outside shareholders. Hindi hawak ng korporasyon. Okay? Kaya pag kinompute mo yan, ibig sabihin, pag yung outstanding shares ang may entitlement sa dividends, ibig sabihin, kasama dyan yung mga share capital. Okay? Plus, yung subscribe share. Minus the treasury shares. Okay? Kasi nga, yung treasury shares, ang may hawak is si korporasyon. So, kapag si korporasyon yung may hawak, bumabalik sa kanya yung dividends. So, parang nagli-liquidate siya, no? Or parang binabalik niya yung capital niya since si corporation is a separate legal entity. Kaya hindi entitled sa dividends si treasury shares. Okay? Okay, so isa-isahin natin yung mga classes of dividends, no? So first, yung tinatawag na cash dividends na kung saan ang ibinabayad mo is cash. Okay? Yung cash dividends, yan sabi nga natin, ang may entitlement sa dividends is yung mga outstanding shares, no? So, ibig sabihin, yung outstanding shares, multiply by kung magkano yung na-declare na dividends. Okay? So, kasi certain amount of peso yung binabayad mo kay cash dividends. So, for example, ang declared cash dividends is 10. Therefore, outstanding shares times the declared dividends na 10, yun yung cash dividends mo. Okay? Na kung saan magde-debit ka again ng debit retained earnings, credit, dividends payable upon declaration. Okay? Kapag babayaran na yan, debit dividends payable, credit, cash. Okay? Under the cash dividends. So, kung ilan yung outstanding shares times kung ilan yung declared dividends, yun yung amount ng dividends payable. Okay? Next is yung property dividends. So, under property dividends, these are covered by the non-cash or non-current asset held for sale. Okay? Na kung saan ang ibinibigay sa iyo is property. Okay? Ngayon, ang measurement ng asset to be distributed is measured at fair value. Okay? Yung mismong dineclared na property, dapat i-measure mo siya ng fair value. Yun yung magiging value ng ipangbabayad mo upon settlement ng dividends payable. Okay? So, debit retained earnings yan. Credit, property dividends payable. Measured at fair value. Okay? Next is yung share dividends. Share dividends, gaya nga nasabi natin, it can be small and large. Okay? Dito na lang, no? Dito na natin lagay share dividends, no? Pag sinabing share dividends, it can be small or large. Pag small, less than 20%. Okay? Pag less than 20%, ang measurement mo dyan is yung fair value ng shares. Any excess is yung mailalagay sa share premium. Okay? So, debit, retained earnings, okay? Debit, share capital, credit share capital, kasi nga, ang dineclare mo is share dividends, at par ito, at yung difference ng fair value minus the par is share premium. Okay? Kapag ka naman large dividends, more than 20%. Okay? Since more than 20%, always measured at par. Okay? So, debit retained earnings, credit, share capital. So, ibig sabihin, walang share premium. Kasi nga, hindi siya measured at fair value. Okay? Kapag naman, scrip dividends, no? Scrip dividends, ibig sabihin, at the date of payment, is hindi mo pa mabayaran. Ang in-issue mo is debt instrument. It can be bonds or notes. Okay? So, kapag scrip dividends, no? At upon declaration, RE and dividends payable pa rin. Debit, retained earnings, credit, dividends payable. Then upon date of payment, since hindi mo pa mabayaran yung dividends payable, magde-debit ka ng dividends payable. Credit, notes payable. Notes payable ang gagamitin mo kapag short term, pero kapag long term, bonds payable. Okay? And lastly, yung tinatawag na liquidating dividends, no? Ito naman yung distribution of cash, distribution of dividends in the event of liquidation. Ibig sabihin, ito ay return of capital. Okay? Okay, no? So, special features of preference shares, no? So, yung kanina mong pinag-usapan natin, it can be both and preference shares, no? Pero syempre, yung preference share is different when it comes to dividends, no? Kasi nga, sila yung una mong babayaran bago yung ordinary shares. Okay? Ngayon, pagdating sa dividends or sa preference shares, meron iba-ibang klase ng preference shares as to dividends. Okay? So, number 1 yung tinatawag na cumulative preference shares. So, pag sinabi natin cumulative preference shares, they are not only entitled for the current year dividends, but they are also entitled for the prior year dividends. Okay? Kasi nga, sabi natin kanina, magkakaroon lang ng payment or magkakaroon lang ng journal entry or magkakaroon lang ng reduction sa retained earnings kapag may date of declaration. Kapag nag-declare na ng dividends, dun lamang merong entitlement for dividends. Pero pag sinabi natin cumulative, ibig sabihin, whether there is no declaration of dividends, entitled pa rin yung preference shares na cumulative dun sa prior year's dividends. Okay? Ang tawag dun sa mga prior year dividends is dividends in arrears. Okay? Pag non-cumulative naman, ibig sabihin, ang entitlement niya lang is yung current year dividends na declared. Okay? Declared lang. Kasi pag cumulative, whether declared or not, kasama. Okay? Pero pag non-cumulative, dun lang siya sa declared. Next is yung participating. So, ibig sabihin, pag participating, ibig sabihin, meron pa ring hati si preference share dun sa balance. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag ka nag-declare ng dividends, for example, 100,000 yung dineclare na dividends. Di ba, uunahin mo yung dividends ni preference shares. For example, ang dividends ni preference shares, 10,000. Yung matitira na 90,000, yung matitira na 90,000 is para na yan kay ordinary shares lahat. Except kapag ka ang preference shares is participating. Okay? Pag participating siya, up to the outstanding shares ng participating dividends is kasama pa din siya dyan. Okay? May entitlement pa rin siya dun sa balance. Let's say, no, ang ordinary shares mo is 50. Okay? And yung preference shares mo is 50 din. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kalahati niyan is entitled pa rin si preference shares. Okay? Yung kalahati is kay ordinary na. Okay? Kapag ka naman non-participating, ibig sabihin, the remaining dividends will only be allocated to the ordinary shares. So, ibig sabihin, kapag nabawas mo na yung kay preference share, kasi nga siya yung uunahin mo, yung balance is para na lahat kay ordinary shares. Kasi nga, non-participating na siya. Okay? Okay, no? So, para mas maintindihan mo, magsagot tayo ng problem, no, with regards to dividends. Okay, so problem 1, Valenzuela Company declared 7.2 million cash dividends to its preference and ordinary shares out of its profit in 2023. No dividends had been declared since 2021. Valenzuela shareholders' equity immediately before dividends declaration is as follows: 10% preference share capital, 800 par, amounting to 8 million. Ordinary share capital, 400 par, amounting to 32 million. Retained earnings, 20 million. Total shareholders' equity, 60 million. Required, how much is the dividends to ordinary share if the preference shares are non-cumulative? So for question number 1, okay, so for question number 1, non-cumulative daw yung preference shares. So ibig sabihin, yung 7.2, okay, yung 7.2 million is dapat unahan mong lagyan ng allocation ng dividends yung preference shares, which is amounting to 10% of 8 million. Okay, so ang dividends for preference shares is 800,000. Okay, so for preference shares, 800,000. So balance niya is 6,400,000. So answer for number 1 is 6,400,000. Okay? Next, number 2. Number 2, how much the dividends to ordinary shareholders if the preference shares are cumulative? So since cumulative siya, may entitlement siya for the undeclared dividends. Okay? So, ang undeclared dividends mo is from 2001. Okay, so from 2001 is meron kang undeclared dividends. Therefore, that is 3 years. Okay, so yung 2023 na 800,000. Okay, yung 2022 na 800,000. At yung 2021 na 800,000. Okay, ang tawag sa 2022 and 2021 is dividends in arrears. Okay? Since cumulative siya, entitled siya dun sa mga undeclared dividends. So from 2021 up to 2023. Okay, so 7.2 minus 800,000 minus 800,000 and minus 800,000. Okay. Answer for number 2 is 4,800,000. Okay? Yung para sa preference is 2.4 million. Okay? For ordinary is 4.8 million. Okay? Number 3, how much is the dividends to ordinary if the preference shares are cumulative or if the preference shares are non-cumulative and fully participating? So, ibig sabihin, si preference share mo is non-cumulative at participating siya dun sa balance. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, meron siyang participation, meron din siyang share dun sa balance. So, unahin mo yung preference shares na 800,000. Okay, ito. 8 million times 10%. Okay? Tapos, syempre, bigyan mo rin ng 10% yung para sa ordinary shares, which is 32 million times 10% is equal to 3.2 million. Okay, so meron ng 3.2 million para sa ordinary shares. Yung balance, no, 7.2 million minus yung 800,000 na binigay mo sa preference shares minus yung 3.2 na para sa ordinary shares. Okay, 7.2 minus 800 minus 3.2 is 3 million minus 800 minus 2. Okay, is 3.2. Okay. Ito ngayon yung paghahatian nilang balance, no? Based doon sa participation. Okay. Ngayon, ang participation, ang paghahatian nila is based on their share capital. Okay. Kasi yung share capital ni preference share is 8 million. Okay, 8 million. Tapos 32 million para kay ordinary shares. So, a total of 40 million. So, ibig sabihin, ang share capital mo is 40 million. I-multiply mo ulit ito. So, 8 million divided by 40, which is yung 40 million. Okay? So, ang share ni preference share is, based on the share capital, is 8 over 4. Okay? So, 8 million divided by 4 million is 8 over 4. Okay? So for preference share, okay, 8 over 40. For ordinary share is 32 over 40 based on their share capital. Ito, 8 million plus 32 million is 40 million. So, ang share ni preference based on participating siya, 8 divided by 40. Okay? So, 8 divided by 40 times 3.2. Okay? Times 8 divided by 40 is 640,000. Okay? Then 32 times 32 divided by 40 is 2,560,000. Okay, so again, 3.2 yung balance, no, after mo ibigay yung share ni preference shares being a non-cumulative and yung share na 10% din ni ordinary shares, no. Kasi nga, ang assumption, 10% din yung para kay ordinary shares, no? Kasi, based dun sa unang distribution. Then, dahil fully participating, based on the balance, 7.2 minus 800 minus 3.2 rather, is 3.2. Okay, so for preference shares, dahil pa fully participating siya, based on his share capital, is meron siyang share na 8 over 40. Ito. 8 million divided by 40 million times 3.2 is 640. So for preference shares, 800 plus 640 is 1440. Okay, so for preference shares is 1440. For ordinary shares is 3.2 million plus 2,560,000. 5,760,000. Okay, so answer for number 3 is 5,760,000. Okay? Next is number 4. Number 4 is cumulative and fully participating naman daw si preference shares. So preference shares and ordinary shares again. Since cumulative rather, therefore entitled siya for 3 years. So for 21 to 2023, yung 800,000 niya na dividends times 3 mo. Okay? Kasi yan ang entitlement ng preference shares. So 800 times 3, 2,400,000. And for ordinary shares, ibigay mo rin yung 10% niya. Okay? So 3,200,000. Okay? So yung balance na yung cash dividends mo na 7.2 minus yung 2.4 na unang distribution minus yung 3.2 na pangalawang distribution for ordinary shares. Yun yung magiging paghahati-hatian nila dahil participating pa rin si preference shares. Okay, so 1.6 no. Okay, so again, i-multiply mo uli ito based on their capital share. So si preference mo is 8 million over 40 million. Kasi nga yung share niya is 8 million divided by 40, yun yung magiging share niya dahil participating siya. Okay, ordinary shares then is yung 32 over 40. Okay, so 1.6 times 8 over 40 is 320,000. Okay, so 1.6 times 32 divided by 40 is 1,280. Okay, so total 2.4 plus 320 2,720,000 and 32 plus 1,280 is 4,480. So answer for number 4 is 4,480,000. Okay? And last is in number 5. Preference shares daw are cumulative and participating. Pero up to 16% lang yung participation ni preference shares. So preference share again and ordinary shares. Since cumulative yan, 3 years uli. So 3 taon uli na 800,000 is 2,400,000. Okay? Then, since hindi na siya fully participating, therefore, kailangan ibigay mo muna yung sobra na 6%. Okay? Bakit sobra na 6%? Kasi binigay mo na yung 10%. Okay? Ngayon, meron siyang sobra na 6%. So, kailangan ibigay mo na yung sobra na 6%. Kasi ang participation niya lang is yung 16%. Binigay mo na yung 10% today, plus yung participation niya na sobra na 6%. Based saan? 6% ng kanyang share capital na 8 million. Okay, so 8 million times 6%, okay, times 6% is 480,000. Okay, so total for preference share is 24 plus 800,000. Therefore, yung balance is para na kay ordinary shares. Okay, so 24 plus 480. Sorry, 2880 pala to, no? 2880. So, yung balance from 7.2 minus 2,880 is 4,320. So answer for number 5 is 4,320,000. Okay? So ibabawas mo dito sa 7.2 yung 2,880. Okay? So answer for number 5 is 4,320,000 for number 5. Okay? So hanggang dyan na lang muna, no, ang ating computation sa dividends, no? So kung merong kang katanungan, gusto mo ng clarification or mga questions, comment down below, no? So salamat sa pakikinig. Paalam, hanggang sa muli.